My first exposure to religious tolerance, or lack of religious tolerance, was when I spent time in Nigeria. In Nigeria, roughly 60% of the population is Muslim, and 40% have converted to Christianity. That 40% have not been received very well at all by the other 60%. The consequences for converting from Muslim to Christian can have dangerous results. This compound was torched to illustrate Christians are not tolerated in this part of Kaduna. Kaduna, one of Nigeria's largest cities, is divided almost in half with Christians in the north and Muslims in the south. This is representative of the religious divide throughout the whole country. Coming back to my country, I couldn't help but feel that the meaning of the word tolerance had somehow changed for me, or at least my understanding of it. Now, years removed from that trip, I wanted to find out more. I wanted to find out just how tolerant we are. It's interesting to note the religious makeup of America. Christians claim 76.5% of the population. Every other religion, small percentages. It's also interesting to note with this map that the red represents the bulk of Christians, and those are the ones that typically vote Republican. Our presidents put their hands on the Bible when they're inaugurated. In court, we hold people to the truth by having them put their hands on the Bible as well. We find His name on our buildings, our money, and our Pledge of Allegiance, and references to Bible verses can even be found on In-N-Out cups and wrappers. So what does all this mean? How much is too much? How much are we willing to tolerate?
Until I started actually researching the history of Christianity with more open eyes and without the bias of Christianity, removing that bias and looking at it more openly is when I decided that I wanted to move away from that, and that's when we started heading towards Judaism. It was difficult in that I had to reject what I had known as a child, and it was difficult to admit having believed something that I now feel is wrong.
I wondered, though, how much do we really understand of other religions, and how can you have tolerance without understanding?
I have a surface understanding of other religions.
Okay.
It's very ignorant, sad to say, but I'm not aware of them.
I wouldn't say that I would know specifically, but I know like some parts of the different types of cultures that there are, but no.
I don't understand other religions.
My understanding of any religion is minimal.
I don't understand other religions.
I'm a Catholic, and I can't really speak on any other religion but my own. And even then, I don't consider myself an expert on Catholicism.
Over 90% of Americans claim they have little understanding of other religions, while almost 60% barely have an understanding of their own religion.
Religions, what they're really about. Can you have tolerance?
That's a tough question because I'm not fully aware of all religions. I don't think I have maybe a general knowledge, which could be right or wrong, but I don't have in-depth knowledge of all religions. So it's a hard question to where I think it's helpful if you have understanding, but at the same time, it leaves room for judgment when you do understand it or when you know about it, because something that might be completely absurd to you in a religion might not be to the person who believes it. So it's almost as if like the less you know about the religion, the more tolerant you can be.
I'd never thought of it that way before. perhaps the less we know, the less we judge.
Realize, well, Christians are very protected. Very few people want to go out and kill Christians in the United States, or hate Christians. I mean, there are people, I suppose, but
It's a
being
safe
the majority, it's a much safer religion. In Illinois, when we were living in Champaign, the temple that we went to, there was no sign saying, this is a Jewish temple. It just looked like a building, and there's a reason for that.
It's strange, that fine line between ignorance and tolerance. We can change the location of a building, but changing minds is a whole nother matter.
What might have been love? Don't bother me. Don't bother.
I think what might have been lost is this feeling that when you have a religion, all the others are in another world. But really, what we forget is that this is all the same world. What makes it seem like another world is the way we let ourselves see each other.
What might